Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Good evening, folks. Another victory, 6 home games in a row. We are on the move, guys, big style. And let's just say Sir Edward Howe is just performing miracles at this football club. And the fact that, you know, when he took over, we had 5 points, guys. We're now on 40. I mean, he's got 35 points since he's been here. That's with all the injuries to key players as well. The man is a miracle worker. The man is a god. The man is a genius. So we're all buzzing probably, and I suppose everybody else is. Coming out that ground after the win yesterday was just unbelievable again. The singing, everybody sort of, you know, chanting with each other and chatting away to total strangers coming out the ground instead of putting your head down for the walk of shame. It's now coming out that ground, down past the players' entrance. It's a love tunnel. It's a love tunnel of joy. Everybody spreading the love with each other in a non-biological way, and it is absolutely fantastic. It is great. Danielle, I bet you were buzzing last night, were you?
Buzzing, absolutely buzzing. Really happy for Miggy. That was you know, we've seen it over the past few weeks. He's had a good couple of shots and cracks at goal, and he just hasn't quite been able to finish. So I was buzzing for him yesterday. Didn't enjoy the second half as much. I've got to say, it was like the last half an hour was a long 30 minutes, mind. But what a battling performance by that defence in the midfield. It was just everybody was in. Everybody was in, and that what shows you really a showcase of how far we've come as a team.
Well, this is a difference as to what the team we've got now. And I said it many times, and I said it on the reaction last night. The second half, it was 2 sides of Newcastle United. The first half, we controlled it from start to finish of that first half. And had we had a bit better finishing, we could have been a few goals up by half time. Second half was different. I think we started to tire. Some of the lads were definitely cramping up, but they did not drop their heads. They kept working. They battled their asses off. And, you know, apart from Saha's shot that just trickled past the post, they never threatened us at all. And by the way, monumental bell end of the week goes to Wilfred Zaha. I cannot stand that mofo. And he is just a disgrace to football, throwing himself to the floor in the referee's face, shouting at his teammates like crap. If I was one of his teammates, I'd have walked over there and punched him in the middle of the face and said, "Get a life, sunshine." But you know what? He was controlled. You know, Emil Cafu-Kraft had him in his pocket the whole game. And Alex, this is the difference now. We're seeing players really stepping up.
Yeah, people like Kraft are really benefiting from instructions and having a system, so their flaws are less obvious, and it's allowing them to work on those flaws. And Kraft was just able to. He knew he was 100% confident as to what his job was, and he could focus on tracking his man. He got a little bit confused offensively when he got to the edge of their 18-yard box. He kind of put his foot on the ball and went, "What do I do with this?" But defensively, he knew exactly what was expected of him, and he pocketed him. You're right, for the majority of the game. It was a brilliant performance from him.
And Billy, Miguel Almiron, he's took some hammer off quite a few of us.
Very nice.
Thank you. But what a game he had last night. I was absolutely delighted for him. And, it was weird because where I was sitting when he hit that shot, me and the lad next to us, we thought we were just going, "Oh God, that's miles over the bar." And then it nestled in the top corner. It was a hell of a finish, brilliant move as well. Ball over the top from Bruno, but Miggy did so well to hold off the defender and curl that right in the top corner. And hats off to him. It was brilliant.
we indirectly have to thank Mr. Zaha for that, though. I mean, 2 minutes before that, Miggy and him had a bit of an altercation when Zaha pointed at him and said to his teammate, "You can see it, mouth on TV. Who's he?" Kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Miggy weren't very happy. He was really got his heckles up. And like you say, the strength he showed to go past an England fullback, the pace he showed to run past him, and then the finish was absolutely unbelievable. Great ball, like you say. And I was really, really pleased for him. And I've got from criticising him to jumping up in the air celebrating, because I was criticising him before because he did something before that annoyed me, but.
And then he hit a volley just a few minutes afterwards.
He did, yeah.
I mean, it was a comfortable save, but that's what we want to see from Miggy. More shooting like that. Craig Johnson, thank you for becoming a new member of the Toon Review. Again, I'm not sure whether that's renewal or it's a brand new membership, but thank you anyway. And welcome to this roller coaster of our YouTube channel. Cesare says, I loved seeing him shove Zaha, even if he kind of backed away. Our lads have gladiator spirit. Miggy Almiron is the song from Isaac. Kunga Fox says, word has it, Zaha still hasn't gotten out of Kraft's back pocket. I think he's still there. He's deep in his wallet. Gary says, good evening, Paul, Stato, Danielle, and Billy, everyone. Great result for us all last night. Very tense second half, but clean sheet and 40 points. Amazing. Can't believe where we were in December. I mean, that's the thing, Danielle. We've come so far. And listen, I know there's the likes of Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola, but surely, for what he's done, he's got to be in contention for manager of the season, surely.
He has to be. He has to be. Whether he'll win it or not, I think we can all make our minds up on what we think will happen there. It always seems to be the same people season after season in terms of winning the league gives them manager of the year or whatever, but it has to be Eddie for me. I mean, what a turnaround. We've talked about it a lot in terms of fan forums that we've done previously where we've just been in the doldrums and we've, it was so bad that we couldn't see way forward. And look at the turnaround. I mean, I'm dead positive anyway, but I could never thought. Well, yeah, I could never have forecasted what was going to happen. Like, what an amazing turnaround. It's a season of two halves, isn't it? Absolutely.
Oh, well, yeah. Santos says, now that we are safe, I want to see Burnley do well and leapfrog Everton. Yes. I mean, Burnley are winning tonight so far. I believe they're 1-0 up. So, that'll make them a point behind Everton, I believe. So it's certainly not over yet. Hopefully they can hang on to that. Now that we're safe, I just want Everton down. I would laugh my cotton boxer shorts off had that be the case. Pedro says, who would have thought it back in November the 21st in 19th place to where we are now? Happy days, Eddie Howe all the way for me. Man City win the Champions League, Liverpool win the Carabao, West Ham win Europa League, Leicester win Conference League, and we finish 9th. We get Europe. It's a long shot, but imagine. Hey, however, this was discussed last night outside the ground. Do you remember when Leicester City won the league?
Yes.
Can you remember what happened to them the season before? Where they were?
Yeah, they nearly got relegated, didn't they?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They had to go on an unbeaten run to stay up,
of the league.
they continued it.
Exactly. Could it be that lightning strikes twice, guys? Could it be?
I think it'd be less of a shock if we do it, though.
Well,
with all the money we've got, the backing we've got, I think it'd be way less of a shock.
I don't care who sees it as a shock or not, Billy, mate. I just want the title. Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and then into the Champions League, and we dominate
all the
after
cups.
10 years. Yeah.
Grand National, Eurovision Song Contest. Let's have a lot.
Eurovision, I'll go in that.
Absolutely.
And sing it with your guitar and that. And,
absolutely.
Conjure up some kind of tune. Danielle can just sort off with a checkbook somewhere posh. And
buys a few votes.
Alex can just do the books. Now, Danielle, I have a picture for you here, which I think is gonna melt you a little bit. I don't know whether you've seen it or not, because obviously not on social media.
I know what you're going to show us, but oh no, I've not seen that.
Yeah.
Oh, what do they look like? Your Elsie?
Yeah, the golden retriever. He's got a lab and a golden retriever. The golden retriever is obviously the one in the back, next to him at the back, which looks very much like my Elsie. But he's got doggies the same as me. So there you go. But I think that's a lush picture. And what gets me is how happy this man is at the club. I mean, he is just adored. I mean, when they came round at the end of the match yesterday, he was at the back of the pack. And he just stood clapping for 5 minutes one area, then stopped and clapped another area for another 5 minutes. It was just incredible. And this man has taken the club to his heart the similar way that the fans have taken to Bruno. Danielle.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were talking to me. Of course. But the thing is, like, he's just all around for me, Bruno. He's just all around. Like, he's got everything. He's got the technical ability. He gets it. He just gets it. And isn't that just really, really important? You don't see it in other teams. You know who I'm going to say? Those in Manchester wearing the red variety. You don't see any of that at that club because they're all disconnected. It's all about something else. It's not about our city, our way of living. Yeah. Bruno gets it, and he's been here how long? 3 months? And he gets it. So that's what we need to do and focus on in the summer. We need more players who understand what we are about, not just as a football club, as a region. It's everything, It's an all-round picture, and that's so important. We don't want to get like them down there. Do you know what I mean? No thanks.
Yeah, it was. But listen, there's the goal. I'd just like to say what another monumental bellend that number 16 Anderson is, by the way. He was another one who really should have had his face beaten off just absolute dickhead. And the celebration was just amazing. Like,
beautiful, wasn't it?
Into the crowd they went. Literally the whole side was in the crowd. I mean, it's funny how, Almiron is the one that gets booked, obviously, because he's took his shirt off, but he jumps in the crowd. Yet most of the team jumped in the crowd as well, and yet they don't get booked. So where does the ruling, apply? It's ridiculous. High energy like that, just let them celebrate with the bloody fans, for God's sake. You know what I mean? Absolutely ridiculous.
And wasn't it nice to have an actual celebration that wasn't interrupted by VAR?
Yeah,
it's beautiful. That
brilliant.
Beautiful.
Ancients of Moo, Alex. I'm going to ask you this one. He says, "What did everyone else think of the dancing from ASM? I thought it looked a bit silly." Now, this was in the first half, over by the East Stand, and when he did his little Michael Jackson impression. What did you make of that, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, looking at it as a spectator, it looks a bit silly, but there are reasons behind that. People typically, you've got to remember, a lot of these lads have got very big egos. They're professional athletes. A lot of people would typically try and close him down or get a tackle in. Whereas I can't remember who was standing off him now. Was it? I think it was Kiate, was it? This is what you're meant to do. You're meant to back off. He's not going to be able to drive into the space. He closed the angles down and he kept his distance. This is what you learn to do defensively. So Kiate did the right thing. And then so Maxi probably was anticipating getting closed down after 2 or 3 step overs, and then he just kept going.
I didn't think he was going to stop. He just kept going. I thought, bloody hell, what's he doing? The Palace guy's just standing watching him, and he's just like, he's just sort of, you know what I mean? Just like, I felt like putting a bit of thriller on for him, you know?
After about 5, he realised he had to release it because he wasn't wasn't going to get closed down.
Yeah. Nathan says, Paul, it was great meeting you yesterday, and to top it off, we got 3 points. It certainly was, mate. Met a few people last night. It was really nice. Loads of people coming up and saying hello. Ash says, Billy, you have every Newcastle shirt since 1970. Different one each time. I see you. I love it, says Ash. Julie's off to the quiz. Good luck, Jules. Warren says, even though I hope everyone is still buzzing from last night's win, what an atmosphere. It's been some turnaround for what a job Eddie Howe has done. Surely a contender for manager of the season. We certainly can't disagree with that. Billy, were you surprised at the start of the match at the team, or were you expecting the same team?
I didn't see how he could change it. If they're all fit, then they had to play the same team. You don't break something that's fixed something that ain't broken. Yeah. The only issue with me with fitness, but I thought they coped really well. Obviously, second half they got a bit more tired, but I thought it was the right selection. I thought was everyone fit? That was the way to go.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. We've played some very good teams in these 3 home games. You know, Wolves are not a bad side. Leicester aren't a bad side, and neither are Palace. You know, and we've come away with maximum points. That's something to be really, really proud of, in my opinion. And you know, we've deserved it as well. It's not like we fluked the results. You know, we kept battling against Leicester and we got the win. Zishan Ahmed, thank you for your $8.99 super chat, my friend. Very kind of you. He says, hi, Paul and the gang. Best Toon channel out there. You're just like Eddie, doing a cracking job. I really hope we sign Darwin Núñez and Lucas Paqueta. Or Alex, do you want to say that? Because you're better than me at saying his name.
Paqueta.
There you go, Paqueta. This summer, love and peace from a Brummy Geordie. Thanks, Zisham. Very, very kind of you, man. George says, evening, everyone. Seems that Maxi Shrine was affecting him. Great performance from him yesterday. Yeah, it was a nice touch at the start of the game, and he did acknowledge that it as well. He did clap them, the number 10 all lit up in gold and his picture in the middle. And it's nice that we're doing that now for players, because it certainly gets them going.
I think he needed it though, didn't he? Because we spoke after the last game about his head being down at times and his frustration, and and I think he needed it. I know he put on Instagram last night that he'd never forget this day for the rest of his life. So it obviously meant a lot to him. It was just what he needed, and fantastic job again by War Flags. Absolutely amazing.
Oh, listen, the whole ground flag waving, that atmosphere now before a game. I just love it when Hey Jude comes on, and it's just like, nah, Geordies, and it's just that you can hear it for miles. I would have thought it's just it echoes around the stadium, and it's they played at the end of the game as well, and so many fans staying back now to be part of that. Sharky from Toon TV last night, he stayed in the ground for about an hour after the game, just soaking it up, and then of course after the game, this guy guns on the pitch with Amanda and the others. I'll tell you what, he's got a trick or two, this guy. Our owner, he's flicking balls up everywhere, and it just fantastic to see, Alex, isn't it? I mean, that's the owner of Newcastle United.
Yeah, I mean, there's some professional journalists getting really salty about it. Like, who is it? Was it Mark Douglas? It wasn't. It was somebody tweeted something like, "Oh, Czech's notes. Oh, they're 11th, and they're doing all of this celebration-wise."
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's our 40 points. We hit our 40 points in a season where we were told we were down.
Yeah.
It's magical.
Literally everybody told us we were down. Yeah,
and he's not been here since Cambridge. So this is the first time he's been to a home game since we lost against Cambridge.
Yeah.
So it's been building to this. Amanda and Murdad have been there every single game, and it's all sort of culminated to this one match of hitting that 40 points. It was like it was meant to be. And they've paid a lot of money for the club. They've brought the passion back. They could go on the pitch as long as they want. Not too sure about the heels, Amanda, but
I did laugh at that comment though.
Yeah.
Did you hear us saying at the beginning, I'm going to get off the pitch now because I'm going to ruin it with my heels?
Yeah, she was sinking a little bit into the ground. Bless her.
You can imagine the guys looking after the pitch were sweating. They're like, "Oh, just come off,
but the
please, come
groundsmen
off."
were a bit, a bit nervous.
But you know what it is? There was so many people putting on social media, that Amanda and the owner and me and Dad had walked past them, and Jamie Rubin, and whenever they got there was one lad was sort of taking selfies of himself, and then the owner came up behind him and sort of just photobombed him. It was just incredible.
Yeah, wrapped his arm around him. That was very nice.
It just unbelievable. And Amanda, they're coming in for a photo as well. And this one, I mean, this actually had me quite emotional. It was just unbelievable. I mean, look at that. I mean,
even Callum Wilson's
on the
right-hand side as well.
He's never been in them yet while he's been injured. That's the first time we've seen him. Kieran Trippier has always been there, but it was great to see Callum Wilson there. Just look at them, though. I mean, it's
Trippier's
incredible.
face. Trippier's like, yeah, I was here for the money, obviously.
Yeah,
it's a good.
You could frame that and put it in your living room, couldn't you? It was just incredible. The bond that the team have now with it's clear that the owners, they give a shit, that they make themselves known to the players. And they said that when they first came in, didn't they? That they were going to, if the players needed anything, they've got the phone numbers, you pick the phone up and you ring them. You couldn't do that with Mike Ashley. These guys are right at the front, Danielle, just there for the players, there for the staff, and there for the fans.
Feels like a dream. Feels like I just couldn't have imagined that it would end or be like this at this point. Not just the 40 points, but everything like that's come with it. It's just, I think we've honestly struck gold in both senses, and that we're the richest club in the world, but we've got owners that actually care. And what a difference. Like, honestly, we are so lucky. And that'll be my takeaway from this season, is just how those 14 years of misery have just resulted in this amazing feeling, because thank God Amanda was so, she stuck to our guns, and PIF and Jamie Rubin, and thank God we are so lucky that this has happened to us, and we can never take that for granted ever.
Jeanette Johnson, thank you for your £5 super chat. She says, hi guys, Billy, where are you from and how long you've been a Toon fan, and could you do Zippy and George please? Love the show.
Well, I'm from Coventry in the West Midlands. I've been a Newcastle United supporter. My first game was 48 years ago, 1974 Cup Final. And yes, I can do George for you if you really want me to.
Yes, a great win, George. Yeah, yes.
Absolutely fantastic.
It was all great. It was just marvellous, George. Yeah. Anyway, Tom says there's still a lot of other fans trying to send some salty fluids down our love tunnel. Indeed there is, Tom. Indeed there is.
Especially Spurs fans.
Yes, indeed. Just let them sprinkle that salt. It's always going to be. We're going to get salt now forever. That's just the nature of the beast. It's just how it is. And we're doing this without Trippier and Wilson as well. I mean, that's monumental, Alex, isn't it? Just two of our best players out long term, and we've done it, without them.
Yeah, I mean, people talking about where we should be finishing and where we could be finishing next season, about top 10, top 8, top 6, all of this. I mean, realistically, what we drew with 6th and 7th is Man United and West Ham, and we drew 1-1 with each of them. And then everybody else we beat. We beat the lot. Yeah. We beat 8th place Wolverhampton, 9th place Leicester, 10th place Brighton, Brentford, Southampton, Palace, Villa, Leeds. We literally beat the lot. We beat all of them. So and that's without Trippier, Wilson, and without the summer window. So why can't we do better than that next season? Very, very plausible. We've done a cracking job.
Yep. Wagner says seeing the goal in slow motion was great. Kraft has still got a long way to go going forward. Bruno kept pointing at him where to run. Yeah, he did. But listen, that was great from Bruno. And that's what players will learn from is in time. He's telling these players where to run, and they will pick that up. They will work on that in training. I'm sure they will. But it was great to see Bruno pointing out everybody where to go.
It does frustrate me, though, that Bruno's 4 years his junior, and he has to be pointing out where to go positionally. I mean, Kraft has done amazing, but
Kraft's never played. To be fair, he's never played with somebody the caliber of Bruno where he's been. I mean,
it reminds me of Rice picking up the captaincy early for West Ham and instructing people. Some people have just got that mind. But yeah, he looks like he's the full package. Yeah. Once his English is better, I wonder if he's got any leadership qualities in him. I mean, when he was winning the ball and stuff, he was getting up and trying to get the crowd up. Once he's gelled in a couple of years' time, you never know, he could be captain material as well.
Yeah. Even though I just came back from a short break on Tyneside, how the place is buzzing since my last visit. My bank balance is several £100 lighter after spending 2 hours in the stadium shop. Bloody hell. If you spend 2 hours in that shop, your wallet is a lot lighter. It ain't cheap in there. Joseph showed Newcastle English players deserve a chance at the England squad. Yep.
Target versus Mitchell, prime example.
How good was Target last night, by the way? I mean,
he was fantastic.
He just gets on with it, doesn't he? He just gets on with the game, and he's just steady Eddie every game. I mean, he's had a few little hiccups here and there, but the lot of them have. If we look back to Tottenham,
it's a position we're lacking as well. England as well. Left back isn't the strongest position in our squad. When we've played right backs there, so no reason why Matt Target shouldn't be in England squad.
Corners, he's solid.
Well, if you believe various, how shall I put this?
I know we're doing here.
I think he's signed anyway, but we'll see. We'll see. Chipper says, I love Bruno, really love him. Wolves F1, thank you very much for the €3.22. That's a strange €3.22. NUFC rolling St James's Park like Prime LFC. Prime LFC, I wouldn't go that far just yet, but we are heading that way.
We're getting there.
We've got Prime LFC coming to Newcastle for the next home game. But listen, because we're safe, we can all go to that game and just enjoy the football. If Liverpool turn it on and win the game, then we could just sit back and enjoy the football and think, right, that's what we've got to look forward to in the coming years. Just the way
they don't
they
even
play.
need to be at the steering wheel. That's the problem with them. They can turn it on and just let the car roll down the hill and beat people.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Let's have a go at them. Let's have a proper go at them. Who cares?
Yeah,
We doesn't matter if we get beat 10-0.
Come on.
Let's real go at them.
I think we will have a go at them. There's no doubt about that.
I wouldn't mind getting pumped if we score 2 or 3, but I don't want to get pumped 5 or 6-0. If we lose like 6-3, 6-4, 5-3, or
well, let's not tout. Let's
let's win 6-3. Fuck losing 6-3. Let's win 6-3.
Yeah, Billy lad, get in there. Exactly. Let's jump on the Howe bus. Eddie's at the wheel. Neil says Howe has achieved something no other manager has done. Should get manager of the season. Where do you lie on that, Alex? Should he get it?
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's people in the comments going to mention Gabby Agbonlahor and what a moron he is, suggesting that he's not even qualified to be a candidate for manager of the season.
Oh.
I can't even believe he said that.
Why?
Absolutely moronic.
Why?
But I think it's become clear that he's being employed as a meme now, primarily to create tension for clicks. He knows, because of the smirk, he knows he's chatting absolute nonsense. Yeah, of course, Eddie Howe. I mean, I think the things that are going to beat it is if Liverpool win the quadruple, then it's got to go to Klopp, because it's just a ridiculous achievement, because he's built that over the years and he deserves it. But if Liverpool and City fall short of what their goals are, even Moyes, I feel like, is out the conversation now based on their league form. He's not kept them in the top 4. I mean, it depends on how they do in their run-in, but 100% a candidate for it. Possibly could still win it. It depends on a few other managers, but yeah, he definitely deserves to be in the conversation for sure. Yeah.
We're always going to get. I mean, Agbonlahor is just a. Well, he's just a monumental
bell end.
Yes. So I'm not. He doesn't deserve any of our time, to be honest. He doesn't deserve discussing the crap that he comes out with.
He's just a Newcastle United troll. That's all he is. He's just a salty, bitter troll, and that's it.
Yeah, he is. And he was a shit footballer to go with it. So there you go. Cesare says to the panel, what's your thoughts on yellow cards for removing the jersey? I know it's probably because of advertising of sponsors and the club badge, but I think it punishes passion. I agree 100%, Cesare. I think it's a ridiculous rule. Given what Miggy's been through at Newcastle and his struggle to score goals and his struggle to get in the team, and then scoring a blinder like that, look, he's going to have a lot of passion bellowing out his chest, just like Bruno was against Leicester. You score in the 95th minute to win the game. What are you supposed to do? Like, just walk around shaking hands with everybody? The 52,000 fans just go mental. You're going to feel that emotion, and you're going to feed off the emotion. It's a ridiculous rule.
You can get around that as well. You can, as somebody scores, you could have the sporting boards put the sponsors up, and you could have things in the crowd put the sponsors up, so that the photos of the celebrations include sponsorship. There are ways around it. Like, they just can't. They're just lazy.
Yeah. Is that the reason why they don't allow it? I always thought it was the political messages on t-shirts underneath.
It could have
been
that.
The goal scoring is when they take all the photos that go in the newspapers. So obviously, if the photo of the goal scorer is shirtless with no sponsors on it, then the sponsors obviously don't like that because they don't get as much.
So what the footballers need to do in future is pretty straightforward. Just paint on the sponsors underneath on the chest. So when they rip the shirts off after they've scored, they
get booked for that, don't they?
Sponsors. I know.
Yeah, but that's a club issue, not a league issue, surely. I mean,
it's bollocks.
If our sponsors,
that rule anyway, do they? No one cares.
I always thought it was about 2-0 Burnley, by the way.
Wow.
I always thought it was to do with the political messages on t-shirts that people were bringing up, putting on their t-shirts underneath with "Hello, whoever" on it, and
or why always me and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, or praise ketchup and that kind of stuff.
Oh, the Toon review was mint.
Or Basil Brush is useless.
We hate kids programs like Basil Brush and all that.
Absolutely.
Ryan says Guimaraes is going nowhere. I'm sure Madrid or Barca will try to go for him in a few years' time, though. It's reality clubs have when you have quality. Yeah, Ryan, I understand that, but we are going to be, if the new owners take us to where we want to be, are going to be alongside the Barcas and the Madrids. So, we can go sniffing around their players for once. You know, it'd be like a dog sniffing a lamppost, really, won't it? You know, we'll go over to Madrid and be like, and then we'll just cock the leg, you know, and say, right, we're signing him, son. You know, so there we go. It'll cut both ways if we get to where we want to be. Facebook user, another 6 to 7 points would be amazing. Eddie should definitely get manager of the season. Mike says the two halves were polar opposites, but we did not panic, holding on to the lead, which is great to see. Cedric says hats off to Kraft for all the slander we gave him, and he really turned his style around, and now it sometimes makes me forget Trippier is our first choice. Oh, praise indeed for Kraft that. I think if Klopp pulls off a quadruple, I think he will get it, but being a Toon fan, come on, Eddie, manager of the season all day in my eyes. Yeah, obviously, if quadruple, I mean, that is something else. I'm talking about Premier League manager of the year, though. I mean, world manager of the year, if he gets a quadruple, there's no doubt that big Jurg will get it. He's still a whinging twat in my eyes.
I don't like him.
See, I like Jurgen Klopp. I just think he lets himself down when he starts moaning about completely irrelevant things and
like
you know, turning into the managerial Wilfred Zaha. Sorry, what was that?
Like trying to reschedule the fixture.
Yes,
of the game that we've
things
got
like that.
up.
Yeah, without a doubt. Lisa's good evening, gents and lady. What's your thoughts on us being a serious obstacle in the title race? Got a feeling we might nick it against Liverpool. Yes, please. Can Everton piss off as well? It's interesting, Alex, isn't it? Because we could potentially have a say in this title run.
Well, yeah, we've got to play both teams back to back, so that doubles our chances of an upset of some kind. You know, even if we mess up once, we've got another shot to have a say in it. So I don't particularly care who we would beat or who wins it. It's not our priority. As long as we don't get any injuries, we play well. It's more about what we do and less about what they do. But I think it would. I don't know what the media are going to do with it. Potentially, they're going to go on a field day with it because it's, you know, with our sort of future growth and expectation with all the money and stuff, and them fighting for the title. It's going to be like a look into the future, isn't it? With potential what could be in the next few seasons.
You know what the thing is as well. Wagner here, he says journalists confirmed it here in Brazil. We're all over the world, by the way. It's incredible where our subs are from. That was all it was, an approach. He's not going anywhere. But, you know, a few people mentioned last night, we don't have to be a selling club anymore. We are not a selling club.
It's not that. It's lazy journalism. He's already played for 2 clubs this calendar year. He can't play for another one.
Yeah.
So
I think the article specifically mentioned it wouldn't be this summer anyway. They're just putting feelers out for because they need to update their midfield in the next year, 2-3 years anyway. So I think they're just putting feelers out anyway. But what
Bruno
a compliment
is going
to us that, you know.
Well, it's a compliment to Bruno as well, really.
And the fact we've got no director of football. This was the new people, Eddie and the scouting team, that have gone and picked somebody who is now being sniffed at by Real Madrid. That's a massive hats off to the whole. Club, really.
Absolutely. Nathan says, Paul, it was great meeting you yesterday. That was the first time I've seen us win in the stadium. Best night I've ever had. Oh, bless you. Well, thanks, Nathan. There was guys down from Dumfries yesterday, came over and said hello. Just fantastic, really. And it's nice that people are coming and say hello and putting a name to faces and things like that. And so many people saying how much they enjoy watching the channel and you know, to say hi to you guys as well. I love watching the 4 of us, and it's brilliant. So thank you to everyone that made the effort to come and say hello. And big shout out to Jade as well. Jade came along and said hello as well. She'd had a few bevies, as you might expect.
Oh, I love Jade.
Yeah, but thing is, Jade knows, it's very strange. She knows when to stop drinking so she doesn't get a hangover, which I find incredible. You know, but there you go. It would be nice one day, guys, you end a 96-year wait for a major league title, wouldn't it? Yes. Wagner says probably should only worry about it in 3 to 4 years. I'm not worried about Bruno leaving at all because we are going to pitch players.
Even if he does, it's going to be for bonkers money. So, you know, either way.
Yeah. Keith Delts, thanks for the Dites. I can't pronounce that, but thanks for the $20, mate. Very much appreciated. Again, he says keep bringing the good commentary. You four love the perspective. Well, we do try. Dave says even the weather was fab for a change. After a 10-hour drive home, jammed up in Brummyland to listen to Toon winning was mint. Hate leaving my beloved Geordieland. Eddie Howe for manager of the season, says Dave. Iron Maid Rhino. Wow, what a name that is. It's something I've always said. Newcastle is a sleeping giant begging to be awakened. Begging, Danielle.
It is, and it's stirring. It is stirring. And it's just amazing. Like, I can't honestly, even when we will come to the end of the season, when we do a season review, I'm still can't believe this is happening to us. I just can't.
I know it's mad. Good evening, Phil. Good evening, John. Paul, I hope you enjoyed your midget gems last night. I did, and so did George. I was walking into the ground. John came over and said, just in case you've forgotten the midget gems, there's a packet for you. Just out of the blue as I was walking into the ground. So George got a good filling of midget gems last night as the match went on. Apparently Real Madrid, no, we're not even going to talk about that because it's not going to happen. And plus they can't afford him. Who would be your ideal player to come in? We will be discussing that in a future show, so stay tuned for that one. They're not looking into buying him. The approach and talked about that was confirmed. Nothing to worry about. Exactly.
Yeah, my mate's a Real Madrid fan, and he's mentioned that today. So
they can do one.
They need to go away.
We're not taking the calls.
No, we're not. Amanda's phone saying, Real Madrid, I'm going through a tunnel. Warren says, great to see you yesterday, Paul, the match with everyone that was there. Still laughing at Archer's moment on PD's fan cam. Best one yet. Oh, I mean, even pelvic thrusted, guys. Archer pelvic thrusted.
You just never know what he's going to do, though, do you?
You don't. He only says about 4 words before the match. And then after the match, he turns into a different beast. Quite incredible, really. But there you go. That's just the way it is. Where is Bruno's hand? We got Danielle stroking. What?
Cat.
Oh, her cat. And Bruno handling his dog. Great result and happy to see you up the league. Miggy was booked because he took his shirt off. Indeed, he was. Is it still possible for us to go? No, yeet. Come on. It's over with. We're safe, man. Let's just start celebrating and looking forward to the summer, Danielle.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm already planning to meet the end of season party. We've done it. I don't, you know what? If we go, when we play Liverpool and play Arsenal, when we play City, I don't give a toss. Let's just go at them. Full throttle. That's what I say. I'm so grateful that we're in this position. I'm just so grateful. So just give it all I've got against these teams. But yeah, wow. I don't know what's come over me today. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. I looked at Murdad's...
Are you feeling very emotional, Danielle?
I am. Yeah. You know, after Murdad's post on Instagram last night saying, 40 effing points and,
40 effing points. That's our joint owner putting that, you know what I mean? Unbelievable.
I love it. But honestly, who would have... Everyone, all the haters and the salty people were like, oh, it's all going to go wrong. It's not what you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
All of this. It's everything I wanted and more. Everything.
They're just polar opposites, aren't they? What we had before. Polar opposites.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I don't think many people have owners like ours. I mean, I've never seen many of them. I think Leicester have got very good owners that sort of come on the pitch and are there for the fans as well. Let's not take that away from them. But not many teams do. Alex, this upturn in form for Maxi, do you think it has anything to do with Bruno?
I mean, I was looking at Maxi's stats quite deeply, and his stats are actually worse than a lot of recent games. Mm-hmm. It's because fans judge him with their eyes so much. He didn't get any key passes. He got fewer dribbles than he normally does. His stats weren't as good as normal. And I don't think he had a massively good game. He was okay. He did pretty well. Nothing incredible, but again, I feel like it helped him a lot. The War Flags display and having a bit more quality. Shelvey and Joe Linton looked fitter. They look like they're overcome their illness a little bit, even though Joe got quite a lot of knocks. And then Bruno's quality. Maxi just has a bit more around him.
Yeah.
I think he definitely needed the War Flags display, and he needed a bit of love because he's had a lot of hate. And it wasn't doing him any good. And I've been calling for weeks for people to just, not completely disregard the problems, but just support him. And I think that helped a lot. And Bruno definitely helped. Maxi's been over and celebrated with the goal scorers. He went and celebrated with Miggy. He was first there.
Yeah.
And it seems, we've had a lot of conversations over a month ago about him. People mentioned him just being quite stroppy. and I'm not saying that this month. He's been with the goal scorers, with the team. He did the interview as well, and then he's got that added quality on the pitch. And I think it's good. The pressure's off him a little bit, and he can just try and work on his game. And he did. He was passing a lot more. He had more options to pass across the box. He had some nice overlaps, some little dinks into the box. It was better. I'd still like to see some better shooting from him, but it's his game's changing. He's winning the ball a bit more. He's winning a few more duels. It's going in the right direction. It's good.
Well, Stephen says, my concern for Saturday is despite Norwich's position, they will have a week's rest by Saturday. So unless we put them away by half-time, Norwich might just do us. Well, we'll be talking about that tomorrow night on the preview show, Stephen. So we'll touch on who might play, who might be given a rest, things like that. So that'll be at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. We've got nearly 700 watching at the minute, which is absolutely incredible. Again, thank you so much. So if you are enjoying the show, be sure to hit that like button and let YouTube know that we are a fab channel. See what I did, Daniel? Fab. Fab. Should I do the little thumb flick or not?
Yeah, do it.
So please do hit that like button. And also, if you're new to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button as well if you like what you see, and the notification bell, which will notify you when we go live or we upload a video, and which I will be doing tomorrow because it'll be Eddie Howe press conference yet again. Seems like he's doing press conferences every couple of days. And also, if you want to become a member of this elite channel, elite. It's just the words just slip out, Bill. You know what I mean?
Blow out the water.
Yeah, please do hit the join button, and of course, if there's no join button there, you can either paste the link into your browser, or if you're on iOS, go to the Instagram page. Hit the link on there. That'll take you to a page that does have the join button there to become a member. So please do that. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, as so many people have already done tonight very kindly, you can hit the $ at the bottom of the live comments, and that will take you through that way. And we've got one coming from Ryan Sweeney, a £10 super sticker. So thank you very much, Ryan. There's no comment there, but thank you for your generosity again, my man. Ron says, hi, Paul. Have you heard the rumours that the owners might be stepping in to save the Granger market? I have actually. I read a bit about that in one of the articles, Northeastern articles. I can't remember which one it was. So I've
not seen that.
But that would be incredible. Well said, Danielle. Agree totally, says Malcolm. Not sure what that's about.
Cheers, Malcolm.
Julie's giving someone the eye. Not sure who that might be. Caught that joke, Billy, says Cesare. Be even more salty if we put a bid in for Kane, I imagine. Oh, yeah.
I know what the joke is now.
Steve says, not the only Toon fan in Coventry.
There you are.
There's lots of us here.
Yeah, indeed. Burnley are playing well, apparently. Brian says second half form is Champions League spot of the season. It is. Carson says listening in Seattle. How are the lads? We've got a few from Seattle, subscribers from Seattle.
We do.
Wagner says, every time I hear Wagner's name, I think of the guy of X Factor.
I knew you were going to say that.
Like, because he was kind of Brazilian, wasn't he? It isn't him, is it?
It could be. The old Huddersfield man wasn't he?
I'm not sure.
Certainly not a composer.
You get him on your watch along for half-time entertainment. A little bit of living La Vida Loca. Lovely.
I once wanted my hair like Ricky Martin, when I had hair. Anyway, swiftly moving on. Bruno was the captain for Brazil's Olympic team. However, he gave the bracelet to Dani Alves for the Olympics.
Is that what they do in Brazil? Is it they wear captain's bracelets?
Bracelets, yes, apparently so. Bruno's pass to Miggy was wonderful. Isaac says the hamster is just sleeping. I've renamed him Emil, as you suggested.
Good for you, Isaac.
Yeah, brilliant. After all, Dani Alves is the biggest winner in the history of the sport. He's obviously a Dani Alves fan.
It's because Alves has got the most trophies out of anybody. That's why.
Yeah, he has. If we look at the defensive system we played yesterday, I mean, Fabian Schär had a few, edgy moments, it's fair to say, in through the game, but his defending was just outrageously good again. And Dan Burn alongside him. I mean, those two, Billy, are just brick walls.
They're impossible to, they're not impossible to penetrate, but they're really, really hard to. They both would die for the cause. They get themselves in front of anything. They'll block anything. They put their heads where heads shouldn't be. They're both outstanding leaders and they're both outstanding defenders.
Yeah. I mean, Alex, what did you think of them yesterday?
It was brilliant. It was sometimes funny because they tried a couple of times some diagonal lofted balls, and Burn just picked them out the air. They didn't kick them high enough, and it was just because the Edouard or Jean-Philippe Mateta, whoever was on, made a run and they were expecting it to drop, and then obviously Dan Burn jumping is 7 foot something. So the ball just sorry, it's not going over the top. And they just work so well together. They're both. It's so good to see somebody who can pass next to Shaq. It just makes a difference. The height was what we needed. Burn was a threat offensively, defensively. He was very, very solid. I mean, Cher does get caught sometimes. He does he steps up, and then there's a little gap that they have to. But Burn is very good at recovering. Again, all this, he's quick for a big man that we heard in January. Well, he always gets back and wraps those legs around somebody, doesn't he? He always wins it back. He's very good at sort of hooking the slide tackle around. Very rarely fouls them, and when he does, it's typically because he's meant to on purpose. And they're just so solid. And then when you add the fullback improvements next to them, it's just great.
It's fantastic. Geordie Riffs are in the house. Oi, Bonnie lads and lasses. Hope you're all well. Alex, can we get some stats on Bruno, Maxi, and Joe Linton?
We can. So Bruno's stats, I put straight up on Twitter after the game. They are absolutely mental. 13 ground duels, 6 successful dribbles, which was double Maxi's. So for a DM, for a defensive midfielder, they are outrageous. 4 out of 4 long balls as well. I've never seen somebody get so many 100% success rate long balls. It just doesn't happen, because when you hit a long ball to somebody, it's normally contested. When you pass it long across the pitch, whoever you're passing to has to win a fight. So he's obviously that good at it that he's putting it in such a good position for his teammate. So 4 out of 4 long balls, again, bonkers. He was fouled 4 times, so he drew 4 fouls for us. One of the key ones being at the end when he out muscled two massive people back in the corner. 3 tackles, 2 interceptions. Obviously, he got the assist, which was outrageous. He chested it down and half volley.
It was the spinny. It was the spin, like the slice spin he put on the ball. It was just absolutely tremendous. I mean,
and the ground he covers as well. People were talking about getting his fitness and physicality up to the league. I mean, he again, 89, 90, 91, 92 minutes in, he's the one trying to die for the cause, putting in the tackles, being fouled, fouling. He's doing what he can, just all the time. It's incredible.
I mean, people have been waxing lyrical about Conor Gallagher, but last night he was more like Frank Gallagher. He was absolutely
he got taken
played off the park by Bruno.
Dirty little player as well. I didn't notice that.
Could have been a couple of yellows for him, couldn't there?
That one he nipped Bruno in the first half. That was evil.
Yeah, he's on 9 yellow cards for the season. I can't remember specifically the stat that the commentator read out. It was something he'd got like the second most.
He's definitely got a bit of anger behind him. Yeah, he's an angry little man. NW says, if I scored a goal like Almiron at St James's Park, I'd rip my underpants off, never mind my shirt. I'd be windmilling around the ground, mate. I'm sorry, but I would. I'd have everything off. You know, I know my windmilling tends to come up a lot for some strange reason, but you know, hey, I wouldn't be able to hold my emotions in. Shira69, thank you very much for your £5 super chat. Great show, best on YouTube, and lifeline to Toon for me as I can't get the live matches. You're very welcome, mate. And another £5 from Ryan Sweeney. Thanks, Ryan. I'm happy to say I got it wrong about Eddie, and if top 10 finish, he and his team deserves best management after the dross they had when he arrived.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, you know, let's not forget that he played quite a few games before the January transfer window as well, guys. You know, he had Steve Bruce's team, and he had to change the mentality of that team, Danielle.
Of course he did. Of course he did. They were defeated. They weren't playing together. It was just a team full of individuals doing their own thing. There was nothing, no tactics, nothing. Had to work on the fitness because they were barely training, as we all know, blah, blah, blah. But I can't believe it. I'm going to go back to what I said. I just can't believe this has happened. I can't. It's like a fairy tale. It is like an absolute fairy tale. And it just shows you how on point everyone is. So the chairman knew Eddie Howe was the man and, bang on. Then
because of his interview, because of the way he came across in his interview, it was just superb. George says, Paul, what about the Palace number 14 point? He was watch all the time. Oh, Mateta. Honestly, he was doing this
when he came on.
every time we had a throw in or a goal kick. Huh? He looked like a friggin' seal, man. Give away. Well, there you go. Paul sniffing around Madrid's players. What? Who? Oh, yeah, like a dog. Anyway, Ian says, I seem to remember the same pundit saying if Eddie Howe kept Newcastle up, it would be a miracle. Yes, funny enough. Very strange that, isn't it? Made to eat the words.
Yeah, there's the Tim Sherwood one going viral where he went, they're down. They're gone, 100% gone. And now he looks like a bit of a character.
Well, he is a bit of a character, so he's not
just now, always has done.
Yeah.
Correct.
He's a monumental bell end as well. There's quite a few of them. I should write a book of monumental bell ends. I think I would be quite a big seller. Manager of the month is a curse. Next game, you lose to Spider. Yeah, but we're talking about manager of the year because you've got, you win manager of the year. You've got the whole of the preseason to, get the energy going again. John Joe, thanks for your £4.49 super chat. Very kind, my friend. I'm so looking forward to the next few games. We can take points from Man City. And did anyone hear Agbonlahor today? He had egg on his face. Look, he's
Agbonlahor.
As far as I'm concerned, he could have horse shit in his face, right? I really don't care about him at all.
I don't want to talk about him too much, but he mentioned we should go and get Ivan Toney, that because that's our level now, we can go higher. And I just thought to myself, hang on a minute, pre-takeover, we got Callum Wilson. I feel like that's a similar transfer. Probably, I would say Wilson's better. So
Alex,
I don't
Makes
understand
no sense
why
because
with
he was telling
the
people,
takeover.
Yeah, but he was telling people to go and sign for Brentford instead of Newcastle.
Exactly.
Now he's telling Ivan Toney to go from Brentford to Newcastle.
Yeah,
he just doesn't realise what he's saying
a
half the
walking
time.
contradiction. That's what he is.
Of course he is.
Contradiction.
He's a walking plank of wood. That's what he is. Derek says squeaky bum time for the Scouse Mackhams. Indeed. God, I will actually, if Everton go down, I'm going to do a live show celebrating it. I'm going to have flags out. I'm going to have, I'm going to have
little T-Rexes.
Little T-Rexes, skips on the green screen, the demolition of Goodison Park, spit the dog.
I'll get a Jurassic Park cake from Mazda.
Yeah. We could have that
bottom three Sunday.
Yeah,
every chance is going to be bottom three Sunday. They've got Liverpool.
Indeed, they could. That will be a glorious day. Gladys says, did you see on Twitter that when Tim Sherwood said we had no chance, someone put a seagull laughing hilarious? Yeah, you want to be crapped on by your seagull, never mind out else. Bruno said he wants to be a legend here, so don't sell out on that commitment. Yeah, exactly. By Bruno's mate Lucas Paqueta, and both of them can help us win the Premier League. I have a feeling, we're going to get him. It's just a feeling I have that, Bruno will be talking to Paqueta, so will Joe Linton, the three little Brazilians there having a little chat, eating the, whatever they eat in Brazil in the summer, sand, and they'll just like sit there and think, yeah, you've got to sign for Newcastle. Paqueta, Joe Linton, and Bruno in the midfield. I mean, wow. That gets me windmilling already. Incredible. Mr. Mohammed can't wait till next season. Shira69, this is the best Toon channel in my lifeline. Thank you very much, mate. Simon says, now stop saying Miggy needs to bulk up and can't find the goal. Simon, I'll always say needs to bulk up. He's shredded.
To beat off Mitchell, I was very surprised he pulled that off.
He did. So I'm happy for him. Don't get me wrong, but I still think he needs a bit of bulk. But what a absolute fantastic finish. There's just no doubt about it.
I mean, the thing was early in the game, he let a ball go across him to go onto his. Sorry, he took it with his left foot. He should have let it go to the right foot and scored then.
Yeah,
I thought, why did you do that? And then he took that one with his left foot. Oh no, that's why he did it.
Yeah,
fantastic finish.
Yeah. Seattle Geordie, thanks for the $10 super chat. Immensely kind, thank you. Gallagher is now, after last night, 21 yellow cards. Only McGinn has more. Is
right.
this a stat? Love you guys and girls, by the way. Name is Peter.
Yeah,
well,
that
thank
was
you
it.
very much, Peter.
Oh, thanks, Peter.
So
John McGinn, that's right.
That's a lot of yellow cards. That I
You
think
know,
that's
you know
when
what I
people
felt
noticed
though.
that as.
I mean, any standard Premier League player, when they've got Bruno stood in front of him playing like he is, it's just rage. It's just like, clearly I'm never going to be that good, so he has a belt from me foot.
Yeah.
Like,
He just
do you know what I
hacked
mean?
him
Like,
down,
what?
didn't he?
100%. And I just don't want him now. He can go back to Chelsea at the end of the season. See you later, son.
Yeah,
You're
exactly,
on the list.
Yeah, he's on the list. Danielle's got a list. You're gonna have to read that list out at the end of the season, Danielle, just to see who's made that list through this current season.
Plenty.
I gather that, yeah, undoubtedly. Now we move on to Chris Wood, because obviously we know he's taking a battering. I said on the my immediate reaction, I thought some of his control last night was dreadful. The ball just bouncing off him and things like that. Now, work rate wise, he put it in last night. He really did, because in the second half, especially, he was back defending in his own area, cleared a few vital crosses, which was really, really good. But Billy, I think you mentioned last week about him running to the near post. And I specifically noticed that in the first half last night. There was times where if he'd made a run to the near post, he would have got on. He would have been able to win the ball. But unfortunately, he makes one run, and it's the same run every time. But you know what? I'm not going to come down hard on him. At the end of the day, I don't think he's good enough to be in the starting 11 at all next season. But it is what it is for the rest of this season. But I mean, Alex, how did you think he performed last night?
He did half of his job in parts. There were parts of the game where he held it up and he did okay, but then there were times when he just wasn't able to do that, and that is his job. I don't mind if he doesn't score, but again, we talk about him doing his job as a target man. He just needs to do better, especially because of how they made 3 changes. They changed their shape and they went aggressive, and they had a lot of the ball. We needed more from Wood because we just don't have any other options. And I was a little bit disappointed we didn't see more from him in the first half, because we were so dominant. We should have gone 2-0 up, because that could have been, football's a game of luck at times. And if that ball had bobbled a certain way, they could have equalised for 1-1 in that second half. We could have done with that extra goal. And so many times at the end of phases and at the end of moves, it's Maxi and Miggy in the box, or Joe Linton and Miggy, and I just don't see where Chris Wood is. He isn't at the end of moves. He's just not there.
No.
And he made the
So
offside
his
run.
control was poor
run.
last night. It was like he had bricks on his feet. The ball was just bouncing off him, and it's risky. John Joe, thanks for the £4.49 super chat again, mate. Really kind. I almost smashed the glass dining table last night celebrating Miggy's goal. Christ, don't do that.
Back to Chris Wood. To me, last night, all he did was 90 minutes of shuttle running. Basically, that's all he did.
Yeah,
pressing. All he did was pressing, in my opinion.
Stephen Fraser, thank you very much. £100 super chat. That is immense. Thank you so much for your kindness, mate. We haven't heard from you for a while, so I hope you're well. But thank you very, very much for that super chat, mate. Superb, absolutely so generous. And I hope you're well. Like I say, we haven't seen you around for a while, so I hope you're doing well, mate. Thank you again for that. That is immense. Thank you so much. Gary says, will Danielle get a marquee for the garden so we can all come to the party?
You didn't want a marquee in my garden, I tell you. But yes, we'll get a marquee in someone's garden. Won't be mine, like.
No. What about the neighbours? You get on well with the neighbours, Daniel?
What do you think?
Let's not go there.
From the other side of the water, so no.
Indeed, like ho. Tom says, I did tell the Chronicle results table prediction. I was pessimistic with us not picking up another point, and the likes of Norwich, Burnley, Watford, Everton all winning during their games. NUFC 17th on 40 points. So that's not going to happen now. Chippers, thank you for your £10 super chat, my man. Very kind. Here is a stat for Alex. NUFC have won more league games already in 2022 than in the whole of 2021. We won 8 league games in 42, already 9 wins in 14. Wow. I mean,
that is a beautiful statistic.
It is a very beautiful statistic, and well done, Chippers, for delivering such beautiful news.
I wonder why that is.
Well, who knows, Billy? It's crazy, isn't it? Ryan says ASM can be magical, but his end product is crap. yes, I'd agree. His end product he needs to improve that end product, because I tell you what, if he plays like he did last night, right, and gets that end product, we've got a hell of a player there.
100%.
There is no doubt about
I think
it.
it'll come. I think it will. Absolutely. I have faith in him to do it. I think he will.
I still think there would be more end product if it's Wilson stood there and not Wood, because there's so many times where he's got nobody to link with.
Yeah.
Like you've seen the improvements in his link-up play when he's had Miggy and Bruno in the recently. It's improved. So imagine if he has a real striker who is a runner, not just a target man.
The thing that really frustrated me last night was in the second half, Maxi made a brilliant run and actually played Chris Wood in, but Chris Wood stopped and turned and then played it back to Maxi.
I saw that, yeah.
Why isn't Chris Wood bursting through and smacking that with his left foot? I mean, that you can't tell me that's not what a normal striker would do. Maxi played him in. Even if you're not left-footed, just take a punt on your left foot.
The thing is, Wood has done that before in clips of goals from Burnley, because Burnley posted his 50 goals highlights. Well, and I watched it when we signed him, and he's got a good variety of goals throughout his career. He's capable. We're just not seeing it. It's very odd.
Agreed. The Leazes corner was class yesterday. It was brilliant. The whole Leazes end was brilliant. Well, the whole ground was, to be honest. But halfway through the second half, this fella just decided, right, I'm going to get the crowd going again, and he ran down to the where all the big flags were. And he picked the big yellow one up with the old Newcastle badge on it, and he sprinted the width of the whole stand twice. And
that's the Leazes runner. War Flags asked him to do that. I think they liked it.
Really?
He did it last time. Yeah, he's become a thing.
Honestly,
that's class.
He was just screaming. He was like, "Oh, yeah, all the way along," and he didn't have to get a big ovation. It was fantastic. It was just brilliant, and
Brilliant.
These are the types of things that are coming back to the club now. The feel good factor, and the singing at the end of the game and stuff like that. It's immense. So yeah, Derek says Everton won't win the next 3. They've got a very tough.
Have they got the Liverpool at the weekend?
They've got Liverpool at the weekend. Yeah. So Liverpool spanked them. So, like Billy says, they could be in the bottom 3, depending on Burnley's result of the weekend as well.
Oh dear.
They play Wolves, Burnley.
Yeah, well, so it's a winnable game because Wolves are very hit and miss at the minute. So, you could just imagine Burnley could go there and win. Or they're at home. I'm not sure where they are. I think it might be at Molineux, to be honest. But hey-ho, it's going to be a very, very interesting run-in. Now, it's been in the news today regarding. I mean, we'll touch on this briefly because I think it stinks. The bomb alert at Harry Maguire's home. I don't know whether you have heard about it.
I've seen it. Yeah.
There was
I didn't know about that.
It's absolutely disgraceful. And that I mean, we all have our say on Harry Maguire and all that, but this is a guy with a family as well, and you just don't do that kind of shit. And
absolutely outrageous. What? Because he didn't play well in a game.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, look, this takes Man United fans to the next level. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
I mean, something else happened yesterday that kind of puts them even further down there, because while the Liverpool fans were clapping for Cristiano Ronaldo in the 7th minute, they were singing Hillsborough songs, the Man United fans.
Yeah.
Absolutely bag of scumbags, every one of them.
Yeah.
Not every one of them, but...
there's a lot of them need to hang their heads in shame, because... Yeah, we say things about Harry Maguire football and wise, but my God, you don't do things like that, man. You don't take it to that level. On a footballing basis, yes, say shit or whatever you need to say about him. He's had a terrible season, granted, but to do something like that to a normal human being with a family is just, well, it absolutely stinks to high heaven. It really does, and. It's not nice at all. Not nice at all. Jim says we should ask for a £200 million fee for Bruno release clause.
I'd go higher.
Hi, Paul and team. What's your opinion about the team training on a match day? For it or against it?
Proof's in the pudding. For it. Keep winning if we're doing it.
Yeah. There's
it's
absolutely
quite a common practice in any sport. Some people do like training sessions before, like Olympians do it. It depends on the sport and the workload. They know a lot more than I do. And all of us, they're all sports scientists. They've got a big team there.
As opposed to the previous manager who wouldn't train on any day, let alone match days.
Wow.
Any day with a Y was a no.
Yeah, there you go, lads. Have a week off. Nick says, best channel on YouTube, Paul's the most beautiful host on YouTube. Have I done enough brown nosing to make up for my abuse on Monday? Maybe. Is there a downvote button for the shine I am getting off Paul's head? Sorry, Paul, just joke. My head's fine tonight. You know, it's tanned now. I told you it was bright red and it would go tanned, and it has gone tanned. Whatever. John Joe, thanks for another £1.79. Anyone interested in making a West Midlands fan? In making a West Midlands fan? What does that mean?
So any ladies in the West Midlands?
Oh, right. Is he pimping you out, Billy?
I don't think so. Maybe.
Yeah. Considering we're second in points accumulated in 2022 behind Liverpool, if we continue this form into next season, we could be fighting for the top 6. I think we will do. Any news on the new home kit for next season? Nothing.
No.
But I'll tell you what, Castore, if you are watching, by the way, please, I beg you, don't make your big, you've got to accommodate for the larger man in the Northeast,
And
the taller
woman.
man in the, well, yes. I can't wear my Castore one anymore because it looks like I'm off to play beach volleyball. And I'm not prepared to do that anymore.
Brazil, depends where pre-season tour is.
Trust me, Alex. Nobody wants to see me in a crop top, right?
And I'd like more lady stuff. I want more lady
Yeah.
stuff because I'm wearing bloke stuff, and look at the sleeves, man. I have to roll them up.
I know, but I'm wearing tonight. I'm wearing the Puma one. I've got last night I had the Northern Rock on one, which was made by Adidas.
That one, wherever it is.
Yes, that one there.
Yes.
Very nice fitting sizes, guys. So Castore, you need to work on that because me and Billy just can't get away with it, man. And there's loads of guys waddling around Newcastle last night, and you could see that they'd had the Castore tops washed numerous times because they were up to the chins. Things were hanging out that shouldn't have been, in other words. So get them shirts sorted. It's not a nice view on match day. Right. It is time for the player ratings. And I think, quite looking forward to doing these. Alex, you can get us underway tonight with Dubravka.
Didn't have a lot to do, did he?
No.
There wasn't a lot going on. 7 out of 14 long balls, 2 saves. Although there were a couple of moments. There was one moment, I specifically mentioned this to Ryan when we were watching it, that he stepped out in the middle of Shah and Burn, like Edison does for Man City. I went, hello, what's going on here then? And he literally stepped up, and then he gave it back to Cher, and then he got back in his goal. I was like, oh, okay, it's fine, don't worry. I thought he was going to try and do Edison things, and he didn't. I thought he was going to be a third centre back.
And then the pass by Cher was horrific. It went straight into the stand.
Well, yeah, it was that one, yeah. But, I mean, overall rating, a 7 purely because he didn't have enough to do to get higher than that. He didn't do anything wrong.
It's difficult for a goalkeeper, isn't it? Because, the team can win 5-0, but if the goalkeeper doesn't have much to do, he can't really,
Yeah. I mean, he was shouting at people who were switching off a bit in the second half. His distribution is improving. He's not kicking out for a throw-in all the time now. He's getting better. He's looking confident. He's making saves. But he can't get more than a 7 because he didn't have anything else to do, in my opinion. So I'm going to have to give it a 7.
Okay.
He looked more alert, didn't he? Let's be honest, he looked ponderous on Sunday, but he looked alert.
Yeah, but when we spoke about that, Billy, not long ago, and just having those guys in front of him is making a big difference. I think he's a lot more.
Got more confidence.
He has confidence in those guys. Malcolm makes a good point saying, Burnley, you've got to play Villa twice as well. So winnable games, without a shadow of a doubt. Burnley are 3-0 up apparently now.
Just allow for VAR.
Well, it's more about Everton's running is difficult. All Burnley need to do is just slightly better Everton's running, and that's it.
Yeah. Alan says if the top don't fit, slim down. It's not about slimming down. I can't slim from 6'5" unless I chop my goddamn legs off at the knees. I'm not talking about the paunch. I'm talking about the width, the girth. My shoulders are ice hockey player shoulders now. I can't get into them. You know, if every time I turn, it blocks off the blood circulation in my arms, man. It's not
In
about
my
that. My arms, man.
I mean, it's the paunch for me, to be fair. He's probably right, actually.
It might be a bit of paunch with me as well, but I go for the shoulders, Billy. We're broad, big bones. That's what I call it. We're big boned men. Kendo says, love the channel. How times have changed from the Samaritan streaming banter a few months ago.
Yeah, 100%.
God almighty, yeah.
100%.
I will never forget that fans forum, Danielle, after the takeover.
No, that's going on the highlights video.
The week
I
before
think,
the
for
takeover.
the season.
Oh, God almighty. And then Wednesday night, we were like, it was Tuesday night. It was depression. You know, we were all ringing Samaritans. And on the Wednesday night, we had news had come through that the takeover was happening. Thursday night, we were taking over. Incredible couple of days.
Incredible.
Susan says the Toon Review merch will fit perfectly. Yes, I had a few questions about that last night, actually, Susan. So we need to get that going. People are waiting. We have waiting lists. We have customers. Todd over in America says, Paul, I feel like Eddie Howe could rejuvenate Paul Pogba and Harry. Todd. I love you, Todd. But I think you've had a Sinclair with that comment, mate. Paul Pogba. Did you see the Man United fans? How shall I put this? Waving him off the pitch at Liverpool on Sunday. Some were not very complimentary waving either. And listen, Harry Maguire, I think we can get better players. I really think we can.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah, I do. Right, Danielle, Emil Kraft.
I'm going to give him a 8. I really like him now. Honestly, he's one of my favourite players. I know he needs a bit of direction at times and it's not really a good thing, but I just think how far he's come on, love him a bit. And I hope he plays again on Saturday against Norwich. And let's not rush Trippier back if we don't need to. So for me, it's definitely an 8.
Yeah, I think Trips will want to come back before the end of the season, though. He'll want to be part of it.
Yeah, of course he will. But I think we're not in a position, thank God, so that we're
totally
get him on.
So what did you give Kraft there, sorry?
An 8.
An 8, okay. Matt Target for me, and I'm going to give Matty Target a 9. I thought he was exceptional last night. I just, every time they try and break down that side, and you just see Matt Target there, his reading of the play is fantastic. And what he does really well is he doesn't necessarily go in for the big tackles. He just stands them up, and then he just flicks the ball off them. He just flicks it away. He reads it so well what the opposition player is going to do, and it's fantastic watching him do it. So it's a 9 without a doubt for Matt Target. And
I mean, he made Vieira sub Elise off because of Target. If you make your opposite player get subbed off in the first half, you've done a good job.
Yep, without a doubt. Dark by Design says Titus Shambles is better than Maguire, and I can't stand the bloke. Target was brilliant last night, without a doubt. Billy, you get Dan Burn.
I thought he had a superb game. I honestly thought he was absolutely outstanding in the air. He's got quality at his feet too. He looks very classy for a man his size. I will give him an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll go with that, definitely. Alex Fabian Scher.
Yeah, I don't think he quite gets a 9 or anything. I think he can have a solid 8. It's changed. The last 2 games has changed a little bit. If you remember how I mentioned last week that Shelby didn't really get any long balls, but Cher was still doing lots of them. I think it might not have been an accident. I think the instructions changed. Shelby is now just trying to find runners. He's not just long balling it safely. He's just trying to find runners. So his stats look bad because he's just trying to find runners. Whereas Cher is just going to Chris Wood, so he's got better long ball stats. But Cher was doing the long balls. His passes were clean. He was winning ground duels, aerial duels. He does sometimes leave a little bit of space. He's got to be careful when he steps out. But sometimes when he steps out, it gives us moves. So, you get both with it.
Yeah.
But it's got to be an 8. It's he had a cracking game. He's doing very, very well.
No problem. Neil Purvis, thank you very much for your £10 super chat, mate. There's no comment there, but thank you for your generosity. We're getting a few comments saying great to see the NUFC cat back in the frame. Of course, Dipsy is there again. Of course, Dipsy stars on our cover shots and everything. She is the Toon Review sponsor. Mascot, I should say. Yeah, without a doubt. Right, so you get John Joe Shelby, Danielle.
I would give him a I would give him a 7, John Joe.
Okay.
I thought his fitness has massively improved. He was all over. But I also saw a really good moment of great captaincy when it was all kicking off. And he was straight in there in the middle of it, getting in control, where if you think back to the way he used to be, he would have been in there throwing the fist, wouldn't he? So, yeah, loved it from John Joe yesterday. Yeah, I'd give him a 7.
Okay. Neil says, best Toon show going. When is your next transfer show? Great to hear analysis on players. Probably Monday night. We'll probably do something else regarding our youth players and obviously some transfers as well. So just stay tuned for that, Neil. Make sure you subscribe. You got the bell on, and it'll ting when we do. Does it ting if I schedule a show? I think it does, doesn't it? Because yeah,
should do.
Anyway, right. I'll go for Joe Linton, and I'm going to give Joe a 6. I don't think he was quite at it last night. But listen, nothing is going to change my mind on the fact that I think Joe Linton is carrying an injury, and he's fit enough to play. But I think we may see him getting surgery on that groin in the summer. I'm convinced of it. So we'll see. But I'll give him a 6 for yesterday. But again, certainly no lower. I mean, he put himself about.
See, I'd have given him a 7. I'd have given him a little bit higher. I think that's a bit harsh. But I mean, I get what you mean. He did make that little error that led to a shot. That was a bit. I mean, if anybody who wonders why we don't play him at defensive midfielder on his own, that is why. That is exactly why he doesn't do it on his own, because he can't.
Yeah.
You can't just learn that overnight. That's why he's a destroyer, and his role is a bit more vague. But yeah, I agree. I think he's still. I mean, he had a lot of. His back, and then his leg, and then his groin was hurting. Everything was hurting him yesterday, wasn't it?
I think he's feeling it. Like he's definitely feeling it, because he's in a much more physically demanding position now, stuck in the middle, isn't he? So, he needs to adjust to that as well. His body needs to adjust. I
just like his transitions. I think he did all right. Like, he's so good at just moving us up the pitch from attack to defense. He always gets key passes, and he's always able to dribble 3 or 4 yards without being shrugged off, and he turns it into attack. And he's often what starts Maxi's runs, because Joe beats off 2, and then Maxi's got space. But yeah, he definitely still looks a bit injured, bless him.
Right, Billy, you get I don't know, somebody called Bruno.
Well, last night I saw bits of Paul Gascoigne in him with his strength of running through players, past players. I saw bits of Kante in him, the way he was taking the ball off players coming through. I saw bits of Glenn Hoddle in him, the way he was passing the ball. From 1 to 90 minutes, this man was absolutely outstanding. I can't give him anything else but a 10. It was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because it's 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and every single bloody game. It's mental. But he's a genius. He really is. And it's fantastic to watch. Right, Alex, you get Mr. Maxima.
Maxi, that's an interesting one. I think I'm going to have to give him a 7. I can't give him higher than a 7. I mean, 3 out of 5 dribbles completed. Still 0 crosses, 0 long balls. He did attempt the cross. It just got cleared, but it was a cleaner game. The 7 is not as harsh as it sounds. He had a clean game, and I feel like this is what we're going to have to tolerate this as he's learning to track, to cover, learn how to be a bit better positionally, play it across the box. As he's learning all of this and improving his game, we're losing a little bit of what he was doing. But this is what everybody wanted. If we're going to keep him in as a system player, he's going to need time to learn these things. And it would be nice, to see. He needs to stop doing that Burnley shot. Because it's so predictable now. I feel like they need to work on that in training. It's the one where he starts at the left side of the 18-yard box and he skips right past 2, 3, 4 and has the low shot. He does it twice a game, every game, and every single goalkeeper is ready for it. I feel like surely they've got to work on that, because we know it's coming because we watch him every week. We know that's what he's going to do. He skips past 2. We know he's not going to lay it off. We know he's going to try that low-driven shot across goal. Yeah, he did fine. I just onwards and upwards. Hopefully, he keeps improving. But I can't give him higher than a 7 because nothing happened as a result of what he was doing. So,
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Right, Danielle, you get Chris Wood.
I will give him I want to say a 6, but I'm kind of going to and from to a 7. No, I'm going to go with a 6. I'm going to go with a 6.
I was going to go the other way. I thought.
Oh, no. You know what? Like, I understand he's not very good at scoring goals, right? I understand that. That's why he's here for. But
Yeah.
he was good in terms of his defensive work towards the end of the game. Like, his work rate was good. I mean, I'm kind of trying to
He
find
won a few
positives.
defensive headers in our box as well, which
He
is
did.
new.
I mean, it's fair to him. He did. There was one he flicked out for a corner, which was near enough on a Palace player's head if he didn't get that flick on. So, yeah.
I didn't like his hold-up play in that corner flag, though. Did you see him when he just
No,
let
it's
it?
dreadful, wasn't it?
He just let it roll out.
What hold-up play? I mean, he just didn't.
Yeah, I know.
Crap, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, so what have you going with a 6? Okay.
Yes.
Chipper says, bloody heck, I gave ASM a 7 on John's show. Alex agreeing with me. Hey, miracles.
I think we've always agreed. I think it was just one was glass half full, one was glass half empty. I think we've all agreed about the same points, to be fair.
Yeah. Toon says ASM did do a perfect cross in our own half for a Palace player. Yeah, that was in the first 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
God, that was awful. Can't fault his work rate, to be fair. It's just Wood has no finishing.
Yeah.
And Foxy says a solid ASM was 7 yesterday. Right, so I get Miggy. Miggy, my son, is going to get a 10.
Yes.
And, I've been one of those that has hammered Miggy in the past without a shadow of a doubt. But listen, the man is standing up and being counted the last few games. I'm not saying he's the finished article by a long shot, but listen, he was brilliant yesterday. His effort, his little 1-2s with Bruno. He seems to know where Bruno needs him to go and where he wants the ball played. Whether that's a South American thing, I don't know. They're just on each other's wavelength. But I think Bruno's had a big say in what Miggy's doing now on the pitch. And I'm really pleased for Miggy because he seems like a lovely lad, and it was just absolutely fantastic to see him score yesterday and just be there for everybody. So and you could see what it meant to the other players for him to score as well. They just were just awesome. So Miggy, you get a 10, my son, and absolutely fantastic display. Now we move on to Mr. Edward Howe. So we all obviously have to agree on this. So Billy, you get first nobbles on Eddie. That didn't sound right, but you know what I mean. Let's go. Let's just sweep over that comment.
I thought he managed the game pretty well. I thought he could have made his subs a little bit earlier when Palace were seeming to get on top.
Yeah.
But 7 out of 10 for me.
Okay, Alex.
A 7 out of 10 for the exact reasons Billy mentioned. It's personal preference. I wanted those fresh legs on 5 or 10 minutes earlier. We were getting battered. We needed some fresh legs, and
we were all calling for a sub to be. We could see that Palace were getting on top in the game, and we all did say in the crowd, come on, Eddie, it's time to make a change, freshen it up a little bit. That's the one thing that sometimes I worry about Eddie Howe is his timing of his substitutions.
He does always. Whatever the sub I predict is, he always does it 5 minutes after I would. I mean, I'm not a manager, so and he wins games. But I feel like there's a lot of people out there who agree with me that they do feel like could be 5 minutes earlier potentially.
Yeah,
they were getting close a few times. They started to turn the screw a little bit.
Indeed.
We just need some more. I feel like we need some more quality in terms of options because. Sometimes he doesn't want to bring players on because we don't have substitutions to shut up shop, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Willock's very much the counter. I mean, he nearly got away again with one of those runs. He had to get. Did he get fouled or did he get? I think he got tackled. No, it was the keeper, wasn't it? Keeper came out.
Yeah, that's right.
Willock really got away again with one of those counter-attacking runs.
But he also held the ball up really well.
Yeah,
but he got the ball punched to his chest.
Yeah, but that one where the keeper, he was in a race with the keeper, right? If that was me, right, I'd just keep plowing into the keeper. I would have just kept running. 50-50 ball. Let's just do him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, keepers get protected though, don't they?
Yeah, but he's not going to get sent off for it. It's a 50-50 tackle. I would have just gone through him. But that's me. I'm a different mindset. I'm talking. Maybe I'm more of an ice hockey side of things when it comes
There'd just
to
be
that.
limbs everywhere if you were on the pitch.
Hell
I think
yes,
7.
50-50 opportunity for that.
I think
go through.
Tyndall. I'm going to give Tyndall an 8. By the way, I'm going to give Tyndall because Tyndall. I've said this a few weeks in a row now. I'm really interested to know what his input is and how much input he has, because Eddie Howe for the last couple of games has started to take a step back on the touchline, and Tyndall is doing 100% of the instructions. And Eddie Howe sometimes moves in and does things, but Tyndall is giving a lot of instructions. And I'm really curious to know how much input is his thought process, whether he just says yes boss and does everything that Eddie says, or whether it's more of a double dynamic and he comes up with ideas and solutions. So I think Tyndall deserves a lot of credit. He looked like he was very involved.
Yep, definitely. So Danielle, have you voted on Howe?
No.
Go on then.
Heart says 10, head says 7.
How can your heart and your head go from a 10 to a 7, like a 3-number difference? Wow.
Because I started off at 10, and then you 3 talked us down as usual. But that's how
I haven't even bloody voted yet.
But yeah, but you're agreeing with everything, aren't you? So you're going to go down that way. But yeah, you know me, it'll be a 10 every week just because he's a brilliant manager and he's done so much for us. But obviously, we can't give him a 10 every week. So yeah, I'll agree with you and give him a 7.
All righty, all right. Right, I'm gonna go 7. For much of the same substitutions, etc. Ash has got to love how much Danielle loves the Toon. Oh, she loves the Toon. All right, you don't you worry about that. Newcastle United fans is a 10. There is no doubt about that. The atmosphere in St James's Park.
I'd give him a 20.
Well, it was unbelievable. I mean, we said it was a little bit quiet on Sunday, but my God, under the lights, St James's Park just seems to bring out the very best in the vocals from the fans. It was just bouncing. It was incredible. Tony Lai says, "Hi guys. First of all, best show on YouTube. Does Alex have any stats on Paqueta? And is he someone he wants at Newcastle?" I don't know. Do you, Alex?
I mean, I've just brought them up in front of me, but it's not super relevant. But if people want to know how he's getting on, he's 8 goals, 5 assists in Ligue 1, and he's actually underperforming. So his XG say he should have more than that.
Yeah.
He played in the Europa League this year, and his stats are absolutely bonkers. I mean,
so in other words, he's awesome.
He's playing a bit like Coutinho was when he was at Liverpool. That's a comparison without the free kicks. That's kind of his maybe a little bit more strength as well. That's kind of how he's playing.
Yeah. Billy has a cracking laugh, would make a great ringtone. Hey, we could certainly do that for the members next season. Not that one. I think it's the hee one. That's the one. Yeah.
That one.
Don't quite understand. Praise what Eddie Howe has done for the club, then score him down for the substitutions. Who's the manager? Yeah, but listen, it's our opinion. We're quite entitled to them, and it's not just ours, because a lot of people in that ground last night were wanting substitutions on a bit earlier than they came. When
Palace brought MacArthur on and Mateta, the game changed, and we needed to combat that as soon as possible. I think he waited maybe 5-10 minutes too long.
A little bit too long, but listen, we still bloody love them. It's Christ Almighty, and it's anyway. That is the end of the show tonight, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed the show, as usual, hit that thumbs up button and let YouTube know we are marvelous. I'm gonna have to keep coming up with different. I'm gonna have to get some toilet paper dictionary. Hang on a minute, Alex. You're right. I forgot the awards. The awards. Billy, who's your award going to this week?
Can only be one man. The winning goal for that fantastic goal that we saw last night with the skill, the pace, a bit of strength also in the finish. Phenomenal, and the way he celebrated. Like all the weight had come off his shoulders in one foul swoop. Miguel Moore gets the Billy Award this game.
Excellent. Susan says, great idea for Billy's ringtone, and then an answer phone message with Paul's quotes. Well, if you want to offend everybody that rings you, by all means, you go for it. Hello, I can't get to the phone at the moment, but please take your face for a shit. Or please leave a message and take your face for a shit. I mean, we could work with that, I suppose. Yeah. Alex, who's your award going to?
Stat awards got to go to Matt Targett.
Right.
He was
nice.
very underrated. 4 tackles, 2 interceptions, 2 clearances, and yet again, 2 out of 2 aerial duels. He's 5'10", and he goes up for every duel in the air. He's always willing to jump up. And those Palace lads were massive. They were huge.
Big. They were kind of big, like.
And Target, not only was he pocketing Elise in the first half, he was more than willing to put his body on the line, and he more often than not wins those headers as well. So yeah, defensive stats, it's got to be Target. I thought he was slightly undersold as to how good he was.
Yep. V says, thanks for an awesome show as usual. Looking forward to your fabulous commentary at the weekend, Paul. Yep, there we will be. I will be back in the commentary position. So should be good. It's not on TV either, so I do have a reliable source of the match. So please do come and watch it and listen to the commentary of the game because you'll get grade A service on here. Grade A with a little bit of bonkersness, if that's even a word. I'm not sure if bonkersness is a word, but hey ho, there you go. But it's commentary. It's fun. We have a laugh. We have a good time. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Danielle, who's your award going to?
Mine's going to the chairman.
Oh, you stole it off me!
Right then, you can have the chairman. Call me Pash, right? You can have the chairman.
Call me Pash. Who says that in the bloody 2022? Call me Pash.
Says that. Danielle says it, so shut up.
I'll dig that comment.
Oh, you dig it, do you, Billy? You're down with the kids, you dig it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, homies.
Yeah, you can have the chairman then, and I'll have... Who will I have?
Well, you take Amanda. You go for the women. You give the women a shout out.
Yeah, well, yeah, actually, I will.
Yeah.
For the second time in a row, for our lovely, lovely Mandy once again. Like, she's just great. She's everything. And you know what? I might be getting that little bit closer to me inspirational women in sport interview. You never know.
Indeed. V. Paul servicing us, oh Lord. I don't quite know what that means. Did I say service? God knows. But anyway, my award goes to the chairman because I thought his skills on the ball were particularly great, and it's just incredible to have owners like that, full stop. But the club is awash with beaming sunshine on a summer's day.
Oh, I want to change mine. I want to change it. Sorry. I want to give it to Grant Pringle.
Who?
Grant Pringle, the social media guy, because
right.
that poor man got shafted off some idiot selling them tickets that didn't exist.
Right.
Yep.
And Grant stepped in and sorted them with some tickets. So
He
well
did.
done, Grant.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
the embodiment of United. So well done to you.
Fantastic.
He came up from Salisbury with his young lad. His young lad was in tears and stuff. And as Daniel says, Grant sorted it all out. Fantastic.
Yeah, well done, Grant.
Roy, you can get lost with that and all. Is that Paul being sexist? I didn't say sexist. I just said, back up the women. I mean, if she'd gone for the chairman, I would have gone for Amanda.
You need to rephrase that.
Oh, and the guy from Saudi Gulf, the representative, was in the photo, wasn't he, as well?
Indeed, yes, he was. Susan says, calm your Pash t-shirts will be coming out, Danielle.
Fantastic. I'll have one of them.
She's always on ideas to get t-shirts in, isn't she? Great show again. See you for the Norwich preview. Thanks, mate. I always knew Pringles would come good. Right, that is the end. Thank you very much for watching. Do hit the thumbs up and let YouTube know how cool and sophisticated the Toon Review channel is. And also, if you're new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and it will let you know when we upload or record a video goes out on release. You can join the Toon Review, hit the join button, go to Instagram, click the link, all that jazz. Thank you to all the super chatters tonight. You've actually been so generous again. You are absolute legends. Thank you so much for your kindness. It never ceases to amaze me, the generosity of the Toon Review subscribers. It really does. So thank you so much for that. Thank you to you three guys for coming on and co-hosting the show as usual. And of course to our mods backstage, Julie when she's dipped in from quizzing, Cesare and Susan. Thomas is in bed, I believe, because he's up for an early shift. And thank you very much to Geordie Riffs for their continued support of the channel. Premium guitar lessons for beginners and children, guitar repairs and servicing, and your own recording studio if you fancy going for a twang. And, of course, your first guitar lesson free of charge if you mention the Toon Review. You can find them at geordieriffs.co.uk. Instagram at Geordie Riffs or Facebook at Geordie Riffs Officialo. Right, we are back very, very soon in 24 hours' time for the Norwich match preview at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So if you're not garnoot drinking, like and going on the bender, you can come and join us for an hour or so, previewing the Norwich game, looking at the potential team, if you rest anybody, etc., etc. Then at 2:30 on Saturday afternoon, we have live watch-along commentary from myself on the game, which kicks off at 3 o'clock. Do join me for that. We always have a good laugh, commentary, and obviously your comments are read out during the sort of lulls in the play, and see what your thoughts are on the match. And then at 6 o'clock, straight after it, or an hour after the game finishes, we have the match reaction with us four, where we will pick the bones out of the game and hopefully celebrate another 3 points for the Toon Army, which will be absolutely fantastic. But until tomorrow night, we will see you again at 8 p.m. Enjoy your Friday. Stay safe and be kind, guys. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Take care.
How are the lads?